Should be some fight this for the British, European and Commonwealth Heavyweight Championships. Is Derek Sweet D Williams, as he likes to call himself, capable of causing the big upset? An awful lot of plans are going to go out of the window for Lennox Lewis if he does. And Angelo Dundee, the new trainer for Derek Williams, insisting that his man can do it. And of course, Angelo Dundee, as Gary's been telling you, has pulled off a few tricks on his time. And here's Derek Williams on his way to the ring now. Of course, the big question mark against Derek Williams in the past has been he's competent, but has he got the flair, the inspiration to be a winner at top level?
I think that's right. It's how much confidence he's going to have on in this fight. He's got the size, we know he's got the power, he's got lots of attributes. But does he have the want, the need, the hunger to pull this one off? And to do that, he's going to have them things. He's really going to have to win. He's got to go all out to win. And it's just whether he wants it that much, whether can Angelo Dundee instill that in him. I think that's got to come from his heart.
And there is Derek Williams. You can see his face has been bathed in sweat. He'll have been doing a bit of working out in the dressing room, as fighters like to do. Don't want to come in cold. You can see the sweat beads there. He looks a shade on the apprehensive side, or is that just a normal expression?
It's very hard to tell. I mean, he doesn't look bubbling with confidence and bigger, but it's hard. You know, it's all boiled up in your mind. These are very difficult moments when you're going into the ring of a big fight like this.
And there he is. All the paraphernalia, natty dressing gown, but of course, once all that is stripped off, it's simply a question of whether he's good enough. A chat to referee Larry O'Connell there, who's one of Britain's best, and we await the entrance now of Lennox Lewis. Williams, the Commonwealth champion, he's held that for 4 years, he's only had to defend it once, and here comes Lewis now. Pepe Correa going through the picture there. The ornate settings of the Royal Albert Hall in the background, and look at Lennox Lewis there. He always seems so cool, detached and icy, and we hate to keep reminding Glenn McCrory about it, but it was in this very same ring, this very same arena. You faced Lennox Lewis at first hand. How good is he, do you think, Glenn?
Well, I mean, I can't say anything, but he is very good. He's very, very strong. That's one of the points that you don't really expect from him. You expect the good boxing, you expect the classy moves, but you don't really expect the strength of the man. Very big, very strong. He's got an amazingly long left jab, and these are all things that Williams has got to be prepared for. He's done it. He's done it right. He's got the best guys. He's went out to the States. He's had the best barn. So really, it's down to him and how much he wants it.
Lennox Lewis, who sacked his trainer John Davenport, and now has Pepe Correa, who was in the Sugar Ray Leonard corner, as indeed was Angelo Dundee. So, two transatlantic-based trainers in opposition here. An unusual aspect of the fight. Look at Lewis. He always has that kind of casual way with him. He has tremendous self-belief. Who else would go onto a TV chat show on the eve of the fight?
Well, he certainly does. He has a good temperament, an awful lot of confidence. He's jumped in the ring and taunted Derek Williams right from the beginning. But Williams doesn't seem deterred. He's there. He's having to go. It's eyeball to eyeball stuff.
He too has been working out in the dressing room. By the way, Lennox Lewis, 16 stone 6.5, and Derek Williams at 16 stone 9. We'll get the ring announcements any moment.
Will you please be outstanding for the national anthem? Championship Enterprises proudly presents our main event of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, your officials appointed this evening for the contest by the British Boxing Board of Control and the European Boxing Union are the steward in charge, Sir David Hopkins, the supervisor for the EBU, Mr. John Morris. Your referee this evening, Mr. Larry O'Connell, the judges, Mr. Roy Francis and Mr. Dave Paris. The timekeeper is Mr. Jeff Williams. Live on Sky Sports, a contest of 12 3-minute rounds to decide the British, Commonwealth and European Heavyweight Championship. Introducing in the blue corner, wearing the white trunks from Peckham, the heavyweight champion of the Commonwealth, Derek Williams. In the red corner, from Crayford, wearing the black trunks, the British and European heavyweight champion, Lennox Lewis. At the weigh-in at 11 o'clock today at the Odeon Haymarket, Lewis scaled 16 stone, 6.5 pounds. Williams, 16 stone, 9 pounds. 12 3-minute rounds.
So referee Larry O'Connell calls them together for their final instructions. So much at stake here. Lennox Lewis, his people are talking about a world heavyweight title shot at this time next year. There will not be one if he loses here. And Derek Williams, so many doubts about him. If he can beat Lennox Lewis, become the first man to do so, well, he really will have gate crashed his way straight in to the world top 10. But Williams will need some performance here on all known past form. Away they go, Lennox Lewis in the black trunks. Nearly 33 stone of muscle in there. Lewis is very dangerous with his jab, finds his way in with Adam Williams already under a bit of pressure in this opening round, although he's never been stopped or knocked out, Derek Williams. And then a little warning from referee Larry O'Connell to keep the punches up in the opening seconds.
I think the one in there with Lewis used the open of his glove and pushed Williams' head right up back over the rope. I think that's one of the things Williams has got to watch out for. Lennox, looks very good, but at times can be a little bit dirty.
Well, Angelo Dundee, Derek Williams' new trainer, a famous man, of course, has been saying in the build-up to this fight, makes no secret of it. He thinks, from the videos he's seen, that Lennox Lewis can be not a dirty fighter, he said, but he does throw illegal blows and does illegal things. Well, a lot of the top heavyweights have done that. Mike Tyson was hardly Mr. Clean, was he? Lennox Lewis with that good jab of his again, and his defence is pretty handy too. He gets the gloves up well, but his last performance, he looked a little bit lethargic, a bit jaded against Levi Billups, and will want to establish himself back in the minds of the British public, particularly with Frank Bruno right back on the scene as well these days.
But Williams is getting his shots off. He's already landed with a couple of jabs on the right hand. It's going to be interesting to see if Lennox can get past the size of Derek Williams. He's very big, very tall, long arms himself.
Williams getting in with a decent right uppercut there. Holding his own fairly well in this opening round, Williams. He's pretty adept at spoiling and mauling when he has to and buying a bit of time. Lewis under a bit of pressure. We've never seen Lennox Lewis under real pressure, and his performance here will be assessed against the likes of what people like Evander Holyfield and Reddit Bowe would have done.
Well, Lewis is walking in, he just looks like he's looking for a big shot. He's walking in and he's allowing Williams to catch him on a few shots. And he can't afford to do that. He can't have that sort of contempt for Williams. He's got to do his work properly.
Well, let's go with the right hand there, Lewis. Oh, and he clubs him with another right. Pepe Correa shouting out at Lennox Lewis from the corner, use the jab. Interesting opening round. Williams didn't do too badly at all there, Graham.
Williams did okay. He certainly did. He got a few shots off. Lewis seemed to just walk forward, not really throwing shots.
There's Lennox Lewis's record. 19 straight wins, 16 have come inside the distance so far. Lennox Claudius Lewis, to give him his full name. Derek Williams in the other corner. Well, he's lost 4, and 2 of those were unbelievably bad performances against the aging European champion at the time, Jean Chaney. In fact, he lost the European title, Williams, to Chaney and failed to regain it, claiming he was doped in the first fight. And then there was a crowd riot in the second. It was a very unhappy period in Williams' career, and frankly, he hasn't really recovered from it yet, but he might do tonight if he can come up with the goods here. Angelo Dundee in the corner, the man whose book is called I Only Talk Winning. Second round. Black trunks Lewis, Williams in white.
I think Lewis has been told to come to assert himself a little bit more. He's come out and he's starting to use the jab a little bit and trying to throw a few more shots. He did very little in the first round and allowed Williams to tee up on a few ordinary looking shots.
How ambitious will Williams be here, we wonder. He's making Lewis miss quite a bit, and he's making him look quite jaded there. Lewis just patting Williams' head there, playfully, and Williams returning the gesture. Short of confidence, Williams, in these opening 2 rounds. He doesn't look fazed by Lennox Lewis's reputation, does he?
He doesn't, but again, that may be nerves coming out in him by doing them sort of things. It's very hard to tell. It's very hard to tell whether he doesn't think Williams can hurt him, or whether he's very, very nervous and he's trying to make Lewis think he can't hurt him.
A lot of mauling and spoiling at close range, and Williams frustrating Lewis, denying him the space to get off with any kind of combinations that he might have in mind. And a little right uppercut inside scored by Williams there.
Well, Lewis isn't getting any boxing going. He's barely landed with the jab. He's basically just walking in, looking as if he's going to try and bomb Williams out with a big shot.
Yes, you get the feeling that Lewis would look better if he started working in behind that jab. He has a 1-inch reach advantage, 82 inches, Lewis's reach, although Williams is just slightly the taller man. That's decent right from Lewis.
I think this is the sort of fight that Derek Williams will want. He'll want to start, messing Lennox Lewis up a little bit, letting them have a tug with each other for the, see who's the strongest, try and wear Lewis out a little bit. This sort of fight will suit Williams a little bit.
Yeah, that's better than Lewis.
That's better stuff. He's got to get that jab going.
Sharper jab, doubled up on it, and looked much better when he was doing that, Lewis.
That's the only way he's going to find the openings. He's got to start using his jab, doing different shots. Make Williams throw something and then catch him with a good counter punch. Work for his openings rather than just expecting him to come.
Been a lot of big talk about Lennox Lewis, about the possibility of him being Britain's first world heavyweight champion this century. He has to go out and prove every time. It's a lot of pressure that he's in that kind of league to justify that talk. Albert Hall, you're watching live the British, European and Commonwealth heavyweight title fight between Lennox Lewis and Derek Williams. 2 rounds gone. Lewis, frankly, has looked a bit sluggish so far, Glenn.
He certainly hasn't impressed, and I think Williams has shared the first 2 rounds. Lewis has looked too much to try and get big shots on, and it's been very messy and a little bit mauley. I think Lewis needs to get his jab going as he's trying to do there and throw a few more shots.
Remember, Williams, nobody's managed to stop him or knock him out so far, so he does have a record of durability. Lewis trying to find the openings again, being made to miss with the right hand. He looks as if he's been given a bit of a rollicking in the corner, Lewis, between the rounds. He's come out looking to go fast, doubling up on his jab. He's a bit fleshy around the waist, Williams.
He does. He's a very big man. He's carrying a little bit there, but you know he's very tall. He's got a lot of weight on him, so it, you know it doesn't look too bad. I'm sure he will have trained very hard for this fight.
Derek Williams feels that he's had a bad press and he's been rubbished too much, and he was glad to go to Florida, he says, to do his preparation with Angelo Dundee. And I was talking to Angelo last night, and he said that Williams had fitted in well and worked very, very hard for this fight. He tips Williams to win it, but I guess you'd say, well, he would, wouldn't he?
Williams is, you can see, he's trying to mess him about. He's talking to Lewis in the clinches there. He's trying to get him spoiled, and he's trying to, you know, upset his game plan. At the minute, I think he's having a little bit of success with that. Lewis isn't getting his shots off. He's walking forward, taking a few.
That's a good right hand, though, and that did hurt Williams. Now he wants to hold on. He was shaken by that right from Lewis, all right, and he's having to hold on for dear life at the moment. That was Lewis's best shot so far.
They were good shots, but he's so big, Derek Williams, so big and so strong, he can wrap Lewis up a bit.
Williams' head seems to have cleared, but Lewis knows now that he can hurt him, and he's got through again. It was lucky for Williams that the following left didn't find his target. That typical Lennox Lewis punch, that angled, chopping right hand, almost seems to come from over his head, just missing its target. Oh, what a right uppercut, and another one, and a right, and down Williams goes. That was impressive. Is he going to get up from that? 7, 8, 9, it's close, it's stopped, it's over, and Lennox Lewis, after 2 rather sluggish looking rounds, gets the job done in the 3rd round. Not quite clear whether it was a count out or a knockout, but it didn't really much matter. Larry O'Connell deciding that Williams was in no fit state to continue. No arguments here about that. And the finish, whatever you say about the rest of it, was pure class from Lennox Lewis.
Yeah, when he hurt Williams, he did the job. He caught him with a big overhand right hand. That hurt him. And then he stayed on top of him. And he threw them big shots. And Williams just didn't do anything to get out of trouble.
First time that Derek Williams has ever been stopped or knocked out. He's got the words champ there, you see. Derek Williams kind of shaved into the back of his head. Well, unfortunately, he's no longer a champ, because Lennox Lewis now holds not only the British and European titles, but the Commonwealth as well. Now, have a look at this finish again, because this, I think, is where Lennox Lewis shows his world class. He can put these punches together in clusters. Take a look at this.
It's a good right uppercut there, and he throws the shots together, and he's hurt him. Williams was hurt before that, and he just kept the pressure on with big clubbing shots.
Well, he's done what nobody else has done before. Those were 3 quality shots. The right uppercut that started it was a real humdinger from Lennox Lewis, and nothing wrong with this one at all. We'll get the ring announcements any moment now, and we'll try to grab a word with Lennox Lewis as well. Here it is again, Glenn.
Good right uppercut and the left uppercut, and then the right hand just finished the job off.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes, 30 seconds of round 3, the referee has stopped the contest. Derek Williams being in no position to continue. The winner, British, Commonwealth, European champion, Lennox Lewis.
8 minutes and 30 seconds it took him. Lennox Lewis takes his record to 20 wins, no defeats. He's ranked in the top 4 by all the world governing bodies, and any animosity there might have been beforehand, and frankly there wasn't too much, I'm happy to say. Little word from Williams to say well done, and when he went down you saw Williams give Lewis a very old-fashioned look indeed. And Glenn, looking at that, What do you think about Lennox Lewis? Let's put you on the spot. Is he good enough to be world heavyweight champion?
I think he's good enough to be there or thereabouts. He's certainly good enough to challenge for it. Whether he wins it is down to him. He was a little bit sluggish from the early part of this fight, which he couldn't afford to do with Holyfield. But when he did it, he did the job.
Everybody chants now Bruno, but if you want Bruno to fight, bring him on.
And Lennox Lewis issuing a challenge to Frank Bruno there from the ring microphone. Well, after this, the demand for that fight is going to become a clamour, and the money would be very big. It could happen.
I don't think there was much need to towel you down, Lennox. How's it feeling?
It feels good. I wanted to go in there and establish my jab, but Derek Williams wasn't cooperating.
You were exchanging a few words with him in the first round. What was all that about? There was even a smile from Williams.
Well, he said, you can punch harder than that, so I told him, okay, wait and see.
And that's what happened. You did. You opened up. But seriously, it seemed to me like the first round you were just warming up and taking him for size, and it was easy, wasn't it?
It was. I wanted to show a lot what Pepe showed me in the gym, but he said just go walk to him and just knock him out because he doesn't deserve to be in the ring with me.
So 3 titles now. Here's the Lonsdale belt, the first time that you've been the owner of a proud owner of a Lonsdale belt. But Lennox, it's the world picture we want to know about. Britain, maybe, Bruno, maybe not, but the world picture. Where next?
Definitely. Like I said, I'm just saving all my talent for the world champion, that's Evander Holyfield. Right now, I'm knocking at the door and I'm waiting for him to answer it, and he's still ducking me.
What about Frank Bruno? Frank was probably watching that tonight, and there's a certain gentleman there who fancies you.
Well, if he fancies me, he knows where I am. All he has to do is say he wants me, and I'm here.
What are you going to do now?
I'm just going to go on holiday and just relax for a little while.
And Lennox, when will we see you in the ring again?
Hopefully sometime soon.
Come on, be more specific. You know where you're going.
Probably the end of July.
You're never lost for a plan.
End of July sometime in America against, hopefully, somebody like Holyfield.
Okay, and for the British fans, finally, you've had your problems in winning them over, but maybe you feel that this is the night when you will finally win the majority of them over.
Definitely, I'm the man that's going for the championship. I've set all my goals that I wanted to set in Britain, and now I'm going for the world championship.
And you want those British fans to support you?
Definitely, I want the whole country behind me.
Have a good one in America. Maybe you will be the world champion. We hope so for your sake. And it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.